Most Korean businesses now have like employees from diverse backgrounds in terms of national, cultural, etc. And some leaders actually find it very difficult to come up with a comprehensive people management strategies among this transition. So, as a leader of one of the most renowned companies that value the diversity and incorporation, so what can you advise these Korean leaders in terms of managing employees with such diverse interests?
Actually, even in our company, we have many Korean leaders who are doing extremely well, and they are driving a lot of work on equality and inclusion. And also, I interact with a lot of companies, both Koreans and multinational companies, where I see leaders who are no longer questioning whether it is important to drive equality or not, but they are getting on, the work that needs to be done. So I won't say advice, but what we have learned from what we have done over the years in Korea and outside are few things that always worked. So first one is to commit to equality as a business imperative, not as something that we want to just show on a scorecard, but genuinely believe that equality and inclusion is a business driver. It's good for the company, it's good for the consumers, and it's good for the community. So that has to come from the top. And we have a very, very strong tone from the top. That's one. The second one is, we have several steps for us to be an equal opportunity company, from hiring to talent development to growing the talent. And in all the steps, we have very specific programs that are in place for us to ensure that we can hire at equal representation, we can give equal opportunity to our young employees, and as they grow in the company, we are able to give them challenging, crucible roles for which both women and men can go. And I can go into more detail, but I would urge the companies to start by understanding and appreciating that it's an important business imperative. And once they've done it, we need to have all plans in place for employees through their life cycle in the company, and then have employee policies which are good for them. Recently we launched a parental leave policy which gives 8 weeks of paid parental leave to fathers, and we open many of our policies to people of all genders. That is one step forward. So there are policies like this which encourage flexibility, which give equal opportunity to both men and women to play an equally strong role in the household. These are just some of the things that can be done.
So we have heard that P&G Korea is working very hard to raise the standard of diversity and inclusion and to create an equal advanced corporate culture in which all executives and employees are respected. So please introduce what programs you have introduced to achieve this corporate culture.
Yeah, actually it's been done for a very long time, and it's not just in my time, but even maybe 10 years back also we started working on it. So I highlighted some of those in my previous answers. So specific program, so to speak, that one is we have an identified goal in terms of what kind of equality representation we would like to see in the company. Second, we have very specific programs in place in which we identify what are the roles early in career that we can have for both men and women, so that they can experience great career growth. And once we give those opportunities to women and men, we believe that they can actually do even better as they grow in the company. And we have a program called Catalyst program. So recently we've sent a few women to work in other countries like Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, and even Singapore. What it does is it opens up their mind when they go and see other country, how other people are looking at life and career. They meet many people from different cultures. It opens their mind and makes them more ready. Third, we are very, very intentional about identifying crucible roles. So in every organization we have some high impact crucible roles, and we want to make sure that we give and we actually have assignment plans for women, so that we are not caught by surprise that we have no women, but we are planning 2 assignment out for all our top talent women, so that we can hold them and we can nurture them and grow them as they go through many life stage challenges. And then fourth, we have very specific policies in place: flexibility at work, paternity leave, and also much can be done if the employee and the manager work together to work out what flexibility could mean for them. So these are some of the programs that we are doing now, and we learn and we incorporate many new ideas that we are also learning from other countries of PNG and other companies.
Okay. So I think managers often find it very difficult to keep a balance between the value of teamwork and individual growth. So personally, do you sympathize with the importance of fostering individual employees' capabilities further? And if so, are there specific programs that you're running at PNG Korea to enhance individual employees' capabilities?
So, it's we have a very interesting framework when it comes to learning, and that is called 70-20-10. What that means is 70% of the time you learn by doing it yourself, by doing a work. 20% of the time you learn from others, your buddy, your peers, your group, and 10% of the time you learn by yourself, by working on a training program or attending a session. So we have learning and growth opportunity for people in all these three. So, for example, for the 10, which is individual learning program, our new hires, when they join the company, they have a very specific new hire program which they have to attend. If somebody joins the sales function, they do something called a 52-week training program, a 3-month, sales mastery program. So there are individual learning plans which are in place. Then there are plans that are in place based on the individual's need. So each one of us have a impact plan and a development plan, including myself, and I identified with my manager what are my strengths and what can I do better. And based on my development needs, we have targeted programs, which is a combination of training and actually a work, like a project. For example, if one of my opportunities, let's say, to have better analytical thinking, then I'm likely to work on a project that allows me to challenge my analytical thinking. So it's a good combination of individualized program and training program, and then customized to my own development needs, so that I can get better every single day. And that is, we call it growth mindset, which is I'm very good today, but how can I be better tomorrow?
Could you please briefly explain what path you have taken from starting as a salesperson to eventually become the CEO of PNG Korea?
I joined sales in PNG, and the first 6 years I worked in India in the sales function, and I worked in many different cities in India, in the south and west, and there my focus was to learn how to sell and how to work with a large organization, because I was working with a distributor organization. Their distributors are very important partners for us. The next 4 years I worked in Dublin, which is one of our businesses in Western Europe, and I learned to work with a modern retail customer like Tesco, one of the top 5 global retailers, and I learned to work in a different culture and also work in different categories which did not exist in India. And that allowed me to think about how to sell in different selling environments and how to do business in developed country versus developing country. And then soon after that, I came back to India to lead my modern retail channel, which means that I could use all that I learned in the first 9 years and reapply that. And subsequently, I've done many different roles, both at global and local level. So I did a couple of roles in Singapore, in which I was doing market strategy and planning roles. So it's like a planning role for Asia Pacific. And then I've done sales leader role in Korea way back in 2014. I've done commercial role in SK2. And I think all these different roles prepared me to do and lead a general management role, in which I'm responsible for all functions and all brands. And then I was ready to do a general management role in 18, and I'm fortunate to have got this wonderful opportunity to serve here.
Okay, I think this would be our last question. So please send a message of support or some advices to MBA students who are going forward pursuing their dreams, especially to becoming a manager sometime, who have to control both people management and business perspective at the same time.
So first of all, I think that every generation is smarter than the previous one. So I don't think I can give you guys any advice. If anything, I can learn. And that is one reason I come to campuses, because I learn from people, and even the question that you ask helps me to learn how you think. So be confident that you probably are much smarter than any of the generation before you. I think one advice that I got, and I think that till date is the best advice I got, is to be myself. And I think that is one advice that I would give everyone, that if you have a strength or if you are unique about something, you are going to be your best when you are yourself. And that is one of the big motto for us, that we respect every individual for who they are, for their unique self. Of course, we all improve, and that is a growth mindset, but we don't need to necessarily change who we are. And we push the boundaries by being who we are and making ourselves our best. And that is what I would urge all of you to do. And you guys have such a great opportunity to bring about change, and be bold and be fearless when you experiment, and don't be afraid to fail.
Okay.
It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.